In this video, we will explore Canvas so you can see exactly how your course has been developed. So let me show you how to get to Canvas, assuming that you have never used Canvas before. So go to tccd.edu. That will take you to our homepage. On the top right corner, you're gonna see Canvas, so click on Canvas. And once you get to the Canvas page, you can hit on My Canvas Courses on the top right corner. And that's gonna show all the courses that you're taking through this Canvas. Look for the 1405. On this case, it's on the left side. Yours could be different. And at this point, let me switch to the student view so you can see it better. When I go to the student view, the first thing that comes to your attention is the homepage. If you look to the left side, you're gonna see the menu with the home, the syllabus, the modules, the grades, and so on. So by default, it's gonna open on the home page. The home page for this particular home page is gonna have our banner, making sure that you know that you're on the 1405 course. And then there's some important links in there. You're gonna see the Alex registration. And at the bottom, it says sign interactive link to laboratory content coming up soon. Disregard that because the new change to the laboratory link is that it's gonna be inside your modules, and I'm gonna show you that. So that's all you're gonna have on that page. Notice also that on the right side, it tells you everything that is coming due, at least for the next few days. Super important also, on the top right corner, you can see the course calendar. So let me show you. When you click on the course calendar, it shows you everything that you're gonna be responsible to do. So that would be what you have on January. Did you notice Sundays are gonna be really busy? When we go to February, once more, you're gonna have something always coming due throughout the week. So let's go back to the main Canvas screen. So that's basically everything that you can access through the homepage. Let's go now to the syllabus. When you go into the syllabus, by default, it will open the syllabus. I will do another video going over the syllabus once we have the final one. At this point, it's still changing. So look up for another video going specifically on what the syllabus contains. So you're gonna have all the syllabus all in there. This is just a draft at this moment. And then on the right side, it tells you how the grades is distributed through the course. Like you can see that the Alex homework is gonna be 20%, the exams, which is 4 of them, is gonna be 32%, final exam is 13%, and so on. All together for a total of 100%. So that will be the information you get on the syllabus. You also get a course summary. So right now, you're gonna know what's coming due through the calendar. You also can see it on the homepage, and you also can see it on the syllabus. So you can choose which one is better for your style. However, the most important part of Canvas is the modules, because the modules is what contains everything that you need to know. So let's go to the modules. And when we go into the modules, the first thing I would recommend you is that you go all the way to the top, to the right, top right corner, and collapse everything. When you do it like that, you can see that our course has been designed week by week. So the first module is welcome, begin here. That's super important. I'm gonna show you what's in there very soon. But I wanna show you now that every week is already pre-assigned, and everything that you have to do that week, all you have to do is go to the week, and I'm gonna go to the week 12, click on the left arrow, and it shows you everything that you're supposed to be doing that week. And most likely on the order I recommend for you to do it. So let's go back to the first module, not module 1, but the begin here. When you go into that module, let's open it up. The first thing that it's going to show you is my welcome. So on that section there, as you notice, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's going to be, by the time I finish this, before the course begins on the 18th, there's going to be 5 active videos in there. The introduction, the biography, the syllabus, like I told you before, the Canvas that we're doing right now, Alex, and the lab material. And make sure you read the letter I put in there for you with all my contact information. So besides that, on the begin here module, if you're not familiar with Canvas, basically what we're doing right now, but this gives you a lot more information. So make sure you read that at your own leisure. Really important, toward the end, it gives you the first step that you should be doing to begin the course. So make sure you read that on your own later. Then it's also going to show you the course resources. And here you can see a lot of links for the different resources that we have. Some rules on how to communicate on an online course, especially during the weekly discussions we're going to have. And your first homework, which is going to be a discussion on introducing yourself. So we need to get to know each other. And some other student resources. And particularly the last one on the student resources, what is Alex? I strongly recommend you watch that video so you know exactly how the online program that we're going to be using really works, on why it's designed the way it is. So that's kind of introductory information to begin the course. What about the first week? So the first week, which is actually the 18th to the 23rd, that's going to be this coming Monday. Everything you need to do that week is already set up in there. So let me cover some of them real quick. On every single week, it's always going to begin showing you what we're trying to accomplish. Basically, the objectives on the left side of the table, and the instrument that we're using to accomplish that objective. For example, you're gonna show, you're gonna demonstrate academic readiness by completing an initial knowledge check, and on the right column it tells you that you're gonna do that by using the link for Alex initial knowledge check. So that's the first thing you see on every single module, our learning objectives. That's going to be followed on this particular week. There's 2 bonuses, so you can start accumulating bonus points toward your grade. And they're basically saying, yeah, I read the syllabus, I understand the syllabus, and here's a quiz to show that I read the syllabus. And then every single module is gonna have the pages that you need to be reading that week. And in addition to that, it's going to be followed by a video lecture, which is basically the lecture that I'm giving you based on the book. So if you do those two, you really so what I'm trying to do is to give you the material in so many different ways. You can do it by reading the book. For the purpose of the grade, you have to watch the video lectures. So far, you have chapter 1 already set up in there. And the daily work is something you're going to be doing when you do the video lectures. Let me see if I can show you. So if I open the video lecture, it's going to go into YouTube. This is our beginning. This is our first chapter. One thing I want you to be very aware of. So that's going to be basically the lecture that we're doing. That you have already read the chapter and that you have probably practiced in Alex already. So you should have a small background about what we're going to be discussing. The way I set up my presentations are going to be based on problems. I'm trying to open it up so you can see it better. I'm going to present a problem. We're going to discuss some of the topics. And then you're going to do problems as we go. These problems are what that's going to be the lecture that I recorded for you. Which is 5% of your grade. And if I go on this particular one, around 6 minutes into it. Daily work. So you have a lot of information you can use now. So at this 6 minutes into it, it's going to show a daily work. A piece of paper. And a daily work you should be writing DW 1.1. A daily work is nothing more. 1.1. I'm going to be looking for those labels. A daily work is nothing more than, as I do the lecture, it's going to show a daily work. What you're supposed to do at that particular time, you're supposed to take out a piece of paper and answer those questions. And you're going to do that through the whole lecture. And after you do that, then you're gonna come back into the Canvas, into the module in Canvas, sorry, and you're gonna go into the daily work. And when you do that, then you're gonna start the assignment, and all you have to do is upload a file. So you watch the recording, you answer the questions whenever a daily work shows, and then you upload it. And you do that every week. So in addition to that, then you're going to have a series of tutorial videos. Those are optionals. So what do you have so far? You have the book that you can read. You have the lecture that you have to watch and do the daily work. And you also have tutorial videos covering the same material. Do you have to do all of that? No. Besides the lecture, everything else, you do whatever you want to do. If you do all of them, you get in the same material in so many different modalities that one of them is really gonna catch. So see what works better for you. In addition to that, at some time during the week, every week there's gonna be a discussion. This is a requirement of Connect for all online courses. And I think it's really important because it gives relevance to the course in relation to what you're learning. And then you also have your homework. So make sure you watch the video about Alex so you know what Alex is all about, and also the tour that I'm going to give you later on another video. So when you go in there, you basically do your homework. The first two objectives in Alex, they're going to be very, very, very time consuming. There's no human possible way you can do those the night before. So as soon as the course opens, start working on them. There's going to be extremely long. After that, it's going to get a little bit easier. But the first 2 weeks, you have to pace yourself. So you have been warned. And in addition to that, then we have the laboratory experience. So you have lecture, you have homework, you have discussion, you have laboratory. Like I've been telling everybody through email for the last 2 months, this course is very demanding. So under the laboratory experience, the first thing you do is the getting started. That's how you're going to link into the laboratory program. when you go into the Getting Started link, it's going to allow you to register. You already have I'm assuming you already have your lab kit. As soon as you open it up, on the inside flap, there's going to be a code that you're going to put into that program to open up your program. So Getting Started is the link that you need to register for the Science Interactive lab kit and the kit, so you have your code. And in addition to that, there's also going to be other requirements that you have to do for the lab, like doing a kit inventory, are going to be very demanding on you showing that you are actually doing these experiments. They're going to need videos and photos. You have to document it in such a way that I can say, yeah, they're doing the experiment. Like I told you before, this is a pedagogical experiment to see if we can do a 100% chemistry course online. So I need evidence to show to my supervisor that yes, the students are doing this. Here is my evidence. So every single lab, I'm gonna require you to video yourself and take pictures of yourself doing the lab in such a way that I can identify you and see that you are completing the lab, which is part of what I've been telling everybody for the last 2 months. If you're not willing to do that, do not register for this course. So you're here, so that means you're willing to do that. And then we're gonna have some supporting resources like practices and quizzes, etc. But I have bad news. Since this is the first time that I do this course, I do not have any of that I can offer. So I will see what I can find, but at this point, there's nothing there because you are the first group that takes this course. So let's take a quick look at week number 2. So what do we have on week number 2? Once more, you got the objective. You had the recommended reading, strongly recommended reading. I will be making chapter 2 very soon. So I always gonna be working like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of you. That's gonna be there's always gonna be a daily work corresponding to that chapter. Then you're gonna start seeing more tutorial videos as we go deeper into the course. Then you get to do the Alex homework. Then you do your weekly discussion, and then you go do the experiment part. So not until the 3rd week we actually start doing experiments. We're basically just getting ready the first 2 weeks, like doing are you ready? Doing the inventory the first week, and so on. So that's what you're gonna see. Everywhere you go, every week you go, you see the same thing. The objectives, the reading, the recorded lectures, the daily work, the supporting videos, the tutorial videos, the discussion, the homework, Alex, and then the laboratory. So the format is the same every single week. So in addition to that, that will take care of all the modules, going all the way to the final week. That's where we have the final exam for lab and for the class. And then what else can you get from Alex? Well, you can check your grades once the grades begin to be populated. On the left, and looking at the blue left side menu, where it said people, that's where you're gonna be able to contact everybody in class. You can get access to your Google Drive. Whenever we have a test, it's gonna be proctored with Proctorio. So that's how we're gonna get to it. You also have, besides the tutorials that we have on campus and all across the district, you also have tutor 24/7, so you can get access to a tutor at any time. And we also have Microsoft Teams for if we ever have to have an office visit or do a live class or something like that. So I would say that covers the most important concept of Canvas. So look at this video. I will most like by the time you're watching this video, if I can get it on time, I will probably send an email with links to this video. If not, you can watch it as soon as the course opens on the welcome section. So that's all I have for right now. So thank you very much. So I will looking forward to see you soon. Take care.